Listen carefully. Most people never become the strongest version of themselves because they're terrified of their own power, but you will not make that mistake. There is a ruthless truth you must accept. You are not owed strength. You forge it in silence, in shadows, far from the applause you think you deserve. Machiavelli understood what most men refuse to face. Power belongs to those who are willing to claim it, not to those who are kind, hopeful, or timid. If you want to rise, you must become strategically cold, not heartless, but controlled, disciplined, and deliberate. You must learn to predict moves before they're made, to leash your emotions, to sharpen your mind into a blade no one ever sees coming until it's too late. This is the path of the strongest version of yourself. Quiet, focused, dangerous. And right now, if you're serious about crossing the threshold, comment this phrase and claim your evolution. My mind is my weapon. Say it, write it, own it. Because in this moment, your old self begins to fade. This is Psyrithm, and this is where your transformation starts. Number 2, the ruthless reset. To become the strongest version of yourself, you must begin with a ruthless reset, a psychological purge of everything weak, emotional, and undisciplined that has been living rent-free in your mind for years. Most people cling to their excuses like armor, but excuses aren't armor. They're chains disguised as comfort. If you want to rise, you must tear them off, one by one, without hesitation, without apology. Understand this. Power does not grow in a mind crowded with self-pity, desperation, or the craving for validation. A Machiavellian mind is not built on hope. It is built on strategy, intention, and an unshakable sense of direction. Stop trying to be understood. Stop negotiating with your weaknesses. Stop explaining yourself to people who couldn't carry even a fraction of the weight you shoulder. The strongest men don't wait for motivation. They construct it. They build it from discipline, from silence, from the ability to act even when everything inside them begs to quit. And that's exactly what you must do. You need to become the kind of person who moves with quiet precision, who never complains, who learns faster than he fails, who studies people not to impress them, but to anticipate them. In this life, the one who understands human nature wins, and the one who understands his own nature becomes unstoppable. Dark psychology teaches a truth most people fear. The world isn't shaped by the nicest men. It's shaped by the ones who understand power, leverage, and perception. So, sharpen your instincts. Begin noticing what others overlook. Motivations, inconsistencies, insecurities, patterns. Learn to read people the way others read headlines. When you understand someone's fears, you understand their limits. When you understand their limits, you understand how to rise beyond them. This path isn't about becoming cruel. It's about becoming clear. Clear about your purpose, your boundaries, your standards, and the version of yourself you refuse to compromise ever again. Today, you step into a new mental arena, one where strength is forged, not requested, where power is cultivated, not inherited, where you stop chasing approval and start cultivating inevitability. And if you're ready to claim that transformation fully, comment this phrase right now: I rise with precision. Number 3, the calculated rebuild. Now that you've stripped away the illusions that kept you soft, it's time to rebuild yourself with calculation, strategy, and a level of inner dominance few ever achieve. Understand this: the strongest version of you isn't born out of chaos, but crafted through intentional order. Every thought, every habit, every decision must serve a purpose, your purpose. You must become the architect of your own psyche, shaping it with the same precision a general uses to plan a war. Most people drift through life reacting to everything, emotionally stumbling from problem to problem, but you are no longer allowed to drift. You move with design, with silent discipline, with the cold awareness that your mind is your greatest asset and your most dangerous weapon. A Machiavellian mindset isn't about manipulation for the sake of ego. It's about understanding leverage, timing, and the psychology behind every action you take. You must learn to withhold more than you reveal, to speak only when necessary, and to observe twice as much as you react. Power grows in the gaps between what you know and what others assume you don't. Your silence becomes a strategy. Your self-control becomes a signal. Your focus becomes a force. But rebuilding yourself also means eliminating what drains you. Cut off the habits that dilute your ambition. Reduce the conversations that weaken your clarity. Stop giving emotional discounts to people who have not earned your energy. When you build yourself with intention, you become untouchable, not because you refuse to feel, but because you refuse to be controlled by anything outside your command. The strongest men are not loud, they are deliberate. They conserve their power, they refine their thoughts, they choose their battles with precision, and they invest their time like a currency only they understand. This version of you is not created overnight. It is engineered through relentless consistency, psychological sharpness, and the refusal to act like an ordinary man ever again. You are constructing a mind that intimidates chaos, a presence that commands respect, and a discipline that outlives obstacles. And if you are ready to step into that engineered evolution, comment this phrase right now: I build myself with intention. Number 4. The shadow advantage. To become truly untouchable, you must master what I call the shadow advantage, the ability to operate with strength that is invisible, influence that is silent, and power that is felt long before it's ever shown. Most people want to be seen, they crave recognition like oxygen, but the strongest version of you must learn to starve that desire. Visibility is a trap, exposure is a weakness. When everyone knows your moves, your plans, your intentions, you lose the element that Machiavelli valued above all: unpredictability. A man who moves in shadows is a man who cannot be anticipated and therefore cannot be controlled. This is where dark psychology becomes your ally, not as a tool to harm others, but as a framework for understanding the hidden mechanics of human behavior. People reveal more than they realize, through their insecurities, their impulses, their reactions, their need for validation. When you learn to read these subtle cracks, you gain a strategic edge that most men will never even notice. But the shadow advantage isn't just about observing others, it's about mastering yourself. You must learn to withhold your weaknesses and weaponize your strengths. Keep your ambitions concealed until they are irreversible. Move with calm precision, even when chaos surrounds you. Silence is not passive. It is a form of power that forces others to fill the void with their own assumptions, and assumptions are exploitable. The less people know about your desires, the less they can sabotage them. The less they know about your limits, the harder it is for them to test you. This is how you create psychological distance, a space where your power grows quietly while the world stays blind to your intentions. You become a controlled storm, not a scattered threat. The men who fail in life broadcast every emotion, every disappointment, every ambition, hoping someone will notice, hoping someone will care. But the reality is brutal. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is responsible for understanding you, and no one has a duty to elevate you. Power is earned in isolation. When you embrace the shadow advantage, you stop begging for opportunities and start engineering them. You stop seeking validation and start commanding respect through presence alone. You become the type of man whose silence makes others uneasy, whose discipline makes others insecure, and whose confidence needs no explanation. And if you're ready to step deeper into that shadow-born strength, comment this phrase right now: my silence is my power. Number 5. The discipline of dominance. To rise into the strongest version of yourself, you must master the discipline of dominance, the relentless, unforgiving commitment to self-command that separates powerful men from forgettable ones. Discipline isn't a morning routine, and it isn't a motivational slogan. It's a psychological weapon, a form of internal governance where you rule yourself with the same authority a king uses to rule an empire. Most men can control nothing, not their impulses, not their attention, not their cravings, not their reactions. And then they wonder why the world controls them so easily. You will not be one of them. You must learn to dominate your own nature before attempting to dominate any external challenge. Machiavelli understood that the greatest threat to power is inconsistency, and dark psychology reinforces this truth. People judge you by the patterns you maintain, not the moments you occasionally rise to. Your discipline must become frighteningly consistent, almost ritualistic. Wake with intention, move with structure, build routines that reinforce your power, not routines that drain it. The strongest men don't rely on motivation. They rely on frameworks, habits, protocols. They build systems that leave no room for weakness to negotiate its way in. Every distraction you eliminate becomes a piece of power reclaimed. Every temptation resisted sharpens your psychological edge. Every goal you pursue with unwavering discipline becomes a declaration of self-sovereignty. But discipline isn't just about what you do. It's about what you refuse to tolerate. You must develop standards so high that mediocrity suffocates in their presence. Cut the habits that sabotage you. Cut the environments that dull your instincts. Cut the people who drain your ambition under the disguise of friendship. A disciplined mind doesn't indulge emotional noise. It prioritizes clarity, strategy, and execution. You must become a man who can deny short-term pleasure for long-term dominance. A man who can delay gratification until his goals are no longer desires, but inevitabilities. Discipline makes you untouchable because it creates predictability within yourself and unpredictability for others. People won't understand how you build so fast, how you rise so steadily, how you stay so sharp. They will only see the results and wonder why they can't catch up. And they won't, because discipline builds a momentum that weak men cannot comprehend. This is the discipline that forges kings, that creates legacies, that transforms a man into a force of calculated intention. If you're ready to embrace that level of inner command, comment this phrase right now: I master myself completely. Number 6, the psychology of strategic power. To ascend into the elite tier of your potential, you must master the psychology of strategic power. The ability to move through the world with precision, foresight, and a mental sharpness that cuts through the illusions most people drown in. Power is not simply force, it is the intelligent use of leverage, timing, perception, and restraint. Weak men think strength is about aggression, but strong men understand that power is built on understanding human nature at its deepest, rawest layers. You must learn to read people not with emotion, but with cold objectivity. Study their patterns, their insecurities, their blind spots, their desires and their fears, because these are the threads that govern their decisions. When you understand those threads, you understand how to position yourself above the crowd without ever announcing your intentions. This is dark psychology in its purest form, not manipulation for cruelty, but the strategic awareness that allows you to move through life without being blindsided, deceived, or underestimated. Machiavelli warned that a man who cannot see the nature of others will always be ruled by them, and he was right. You must become the type of man who anticipates betrayal before it reaches your doorstep, who senses hidden motives before a word is spoken, who understands the difference between someone's smile and someone's loyalty. Strategic power also requires mastery over your emotional responses. The moment someone can provoke you, they can predict you, and the moment they can predict you, they can control you. So you must develop emotional neutrality, a calm, steady inner state that remains unmoved by chaos, unbroken by pressure, and uninterested in petty conflict. This neutrality doesn't weaken you, it elevates you. It gives you the ability to choose your reactions deliberately, to weaponize silence when needed, to communicate only what's necessary, and to withhold every piece of information that should remain yours alone. People reveal their limits through emotional impulses. You reveal your strength through emotional discipline. But strategic power extends beyond understanding others. It is also about positioning yourself wisely. You must learn to build alliances that elevate you, not drain you, environments that sharpen you, not soften you, habits that empower you, not distract you. Power is rarely taken. It is accumulated through 1,000 small, intelligent decisions that compound into dominance. You must stop moving like a man reacting to life and start moving like a man designing it. Learn to control how others perceive you, not by pretending, but by presenting a version of yourself that is deliberate, intentional, and aligned with your goals. The world judges by appearances long before it judges by truth. Use that. Command your presence. Control your body language. Refine your speech. Build an aura of quiet authority. When people sense you are not easily swayed, not easily read, and not easily controlled, they treat you differently. They hesitate, they respect, they adjust. That hesitation is leverage. That perception is power. And if you're ready to step into this realm of strategic dominance, comment this phrase right now: I master the game of minds. Number 7. The fortress mind. To enter the realm of the truly untouchable, you must build what I call the fortress mind, a mental stronghold so fortified, so disciplined, and so strategically reinforced that no insult, no betrayal, no failure, and no external chaos can breach its walls. Most people walk through life with open gates. Their emotions are exposed, their insecurities are obvious, and their reactions are predictable. They allow the world to reach into their minds, twist their thoughts, drain their energy, and dictate their moods. But you must rise above that vulnerability. You must construct a psychological fortress that protects your focus, your purpose, and your inner stability from the noise that corrupts ordinary men. The fortress mind begins with emotional sovereignty, the understanding that no one earns the right to influence your internal state unless you allow it. When someone angers you, they own you. When someone distracts you, they direct you. When someone's opinion changes your path, they control you. But when you operate from a fortress, your reactions become deliberate instead of automatic, measured instead of impulsive, strategic instead of emotional. You choose what enters your mental space. You choose what affects you. You choose what deserves a response. This level of control is not about suppressing emotions. It's about governing them with intelligence and authority. Men with a fortress mind do not collapse under pressure. They compress it into fuel. They do not chase validation. They validate themselves. They do not fear conflict. They navigate it with calm, calculating precision. But to build this fortress, you must also confront the weaknesses that live inside you. Every insecurity, every unresolved wound, every self-doubt becomes a crack in your foundation. And if you leave those cracks unattended, they grow, they spread, and eventually they break you. So you must engage in the uncomfortable work of examining your inner world with ruthless honesty. Ask yourself, what triggers me? Why does it trigger me? Where does that weakness come from? What belief gave birth to it? And most importantly, does that belief serve the man I am becoming? Or does it serve the boy I used to be? The fortress mind requires you to outgrow the outdated narratives that once defined you. You must release the identity shaped by fear, by failure, by the expectations of others, and rebuild a new identity shaped by strategy, resilience, and self-command. This is psychological architecture. This is internal evolution. But a true fortress is not only defensive, it is also offensive. You must install mental weapons that protect your focus, sharpen your insight, and eliminate internal chaos before it ever becomes external weakness. These weapons include discipline, clarity, detachment, structure, and the ability to operate with intention instead of impulse. The stronger these weapons become, the harder it becomes for anyone to influence you. And this is where the Machiavellian principle truly enters your evolution. When your mind becomes unshakable, your presence becomes undeniable. People feel it. They sense your stability. They sense that you cannot be easily provoked, easily manipulated, or easily swayed. Your calm becomes intimidating. Your silence becomes powerful. Your composure becomes a form of dominance. And this is why the fortress mind sets you apart from the world. The average man is ruled by inner storms, but you become the man who walks through storms untouched. You become the one who others look to for strength, guidance, and certainty because you radiate what they lack: control. This is more than self-improvement. This is psychological sovereignty. It is the foundation of a life engineered through strength, strategy, and unwavering focus. And if you're ready to declare your commitment to building this unbreakable mental stronghold, comment this phrase right now: my mind is my fortress. Number 8. The art of controlled influence. To rise into the highest echelon of personal power, you must master the art of controlled influence. the ability to shape outcomes, guide interactions, and alter the psychological landscape around you without ever appearing forceful, needy, or desperate. Influence is not about domination through intimidation. It is about persuasion through presence, leverage through understanding, and impact through precision. Most people try to influence others with loud opinions, constant explanations, emotional outbursts, or pleas for validation, but all of that is weakness disguised as effort. True influence requires none of it. True influence is subtle, deliberate, strategic. It begins with understanding that people respond more to what they feel from you than to what you say to them. If your presence communicates certainty, authority, and inner stability, your words gain weight automatically. If your presence communicates insecurity, volatility, or the need to be liked, your ideas lose power before they're even spoken. This is why the strongest men cultivate an aura, a quiet, controlled intensity that commands attention without demanding it. Your tone becomes measured, your posture becomes confident, your eyes become observant instead of reactive. Your body language communicates discipline instead of chaos. People will sense something different about you, something grounded, something calm, something powerful. And because they feel it, they will subtly adjust their behavior around you. They will listen more carefully. They will act more respectfully. They will take you more seriously. This is the invisible gravity of influence. But controlled influence also requires emotional detachment. The moment you try to persuade someone from a place of insecurity or fear of rejection, you lose your leverage. Neediness repels influence. Self-command amplifies it. You must become the kind of man who can walk away from any situation, any conversation, or any negotiation with your dignity intact. When you don't cling, people lean in. When you don't beg, people accommodate. When you don't chase, people adjust themselves to avoid losing your presence. Controlling influence means learning to hold your value so firmly that others recognize it instinctively. But there is another layer to this art: understanding motivations. People are not moved by logic alone. They are moved by their desires, fears, insecurities, ambitions, and emotional wounds. When you understand what drives a person, you understand how to influence them. You must become a student of human behavior, observing not just words, but tone, timing, reactions, micro-expressions, hesitations, and contradictions. These small signals reveal the truth behind the facade, and when you see the truth, you gain the ability to navigate it strategically. Controlled influence is not manipulation for cruelty, it is manipulation for clarity. It is the ability to guide outcomes without losing your integrity or your purpose. It is the ability to lead without needing a title, to persuade without raising your voice, to direct without forcing your will. And the more you master this art, the more you will notice something remarkable. People will begin to trust you more because they feel understood. They will gravitate toward you because you offer stability in a world full of emotional volatility. They will respect you because you carry yourself like a man who knows exactly who he is and exactly what he wants. Influence is not loud, it is felt. It is not chaotic, it is controlled. It is not desperate, it is deliberate. And if you are ready to step into this level of psychological precision, comment this phrase right now: I shape outcomes with intention. Number 9, the ascension mindset. To rise beyond the reach of ordinary men, you must forge what I call the ascension mindset, a psychological elevation that transforms every challenge into fuel, every setback into strategy, and every doubt into a catalyst for greater strength. Most people treat adversity like a wall, but you must treat it like a ladder, each rung carved from discipline, clarity, and resilience. The ascension mindset isn't about optimism or blind positivity. It is about recognizing that every moment you endure, every pressure you withstand, and every fear you confront is secretly refining you into someone sharper, harder, and more capable. Weak men crumble at the first sign of difficulty because they see difficulty as punishment. Strong men rise because they see difficulty as instruction. You must learn to think above your emotions, to detach from temporary discomfort, and to anchor yourself in long-term vision even when circumstances feel hostile. Your goals must become non-negotiable, your standards untouchable, your identity unshakable. You rise not because the path is smooth, but because you refuse to remain at the level where you once suffered. The ascension mindset demands that you become your own source of momentum, unmoved by the praise of others, unbroken by their criticism, and uninterested in their approval. You must define your own value, direct your own growth, and build your own throne from the pieces of your past that once held you down. When you operate from this elevated consciousness, obstacles become stepping stones, distractions fade into irrelevance, and every day becomes an opportunity to evolve further. You stop living like a man reacting to life and start living like a man rising above it. This is how you separate yourself from the average, from the weak, from the uncertain. And if you're ready to claim that higher state of mind, comment this phrase right now: I rise above everything. Number 10, the final becoming. This is the moment where everything converges: the discipline, the strategy, the shadow work, the emotional sovereignty, the psychological sharpness, all of it merging into the man you were always meant to become. The final becoming is not a destination. It is a declaration, a shift in identity where you stop aspiring to power and start embodying it. Most men wait their entire lives for a sign, for permission, for the right moment to step into who they want to be. But you are done waiting. The strongest version of you is born the moment you decide that nothing internal or external will dictate the direction of your life except your own will. This becoming is about ownership, owning your decisions, owning your flaws, owning your evolution, and owning your power with a level of calm confidence that doesn't need validation to stand tall. When you operate from this state, you no longer cling to the past, because the past cannot match the man you are shaping now. You no longer shrink yourself to make others comfortable, because their comfort is not your responsibility. You no longer fear challenges, because you understand they exist to refine you, not to break you. The final becoming is the birth of a man who leads himself with precision, who stands unshaken in the face of chaos, who commands respect through action, presence, and unwavering self-mastery. From here on, you walk differently, speak differently, think differently. You move with intention, power, and clarity, not because you pretend to be strong, but because you have built strength brick by brick in silence. If you're ready to claim this final evolution and step fully into your untouchable identity, comment this phrase right now: I become the man I choose to be. And remember, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss what comes next from the shadow and self.